The rain-slicked basketball court gleamed under the stadium lights like a black mirror, reflecting the roar of the crowd that had just erupted for the final buzzer beater. I sat there on that splintered wooden bench, knees pulled to my chest, tears mixing with the drizzle on my cheeks, wondering if anyone would notice if I just dissolved into the puddle at my feet. Then, out of the shadows of the emptying bleachers, a voice cut through the downpour, deep, steady, like thunder rolling in slow. "Hey kid, you look like you lost a fight with a hurricane. Need a towel? Or should I call in the Coast Guard?" I jerked my head up, heart slamming against my ribs, and there he was, Jordan Hale, the golden boy of Lincoln High, dripping sweat and glory from the state championship win, his Letterman jacket slung over one shoulder like a cape. 6'2" of pure muscle and mischief, with eyes the color of storm clouds and a grin that could disarm a bomb. The whole school worshipped him. Cheerleaders, jocks, even the teachers who pretended not to play favorites. And me, Alex Rivera, the scrawny sophomore transfer from Seattle's fog-shrouded suburbs, invisible as the rain itself. Our eyes locked, and in that split second, the world narrowed to just us. Him towering and unbreakable. Me, crumbling like wet paper. "What are you waiting for?" he said, tossing me his towel without breaking stride. "Game's over. Let's get out of this mess before we both turn into soup." I caught the towel midair, the fabric warm from his body heat, and something inside me cracked open. A fissure I didn't know was there, letting in a sliver of light I wasn't ready for. Jordan didn't walk away like everyone else would have. He dropped onto the bench beside me, close enough that I could smell the salt of his skin mixed with the earthy tang of the court. "Rough night?" he asked, voice low, like we were sharing state secrets. I wiped my face, mumbling about a fight with my dad, the fresh bruises under my hoodie from his latest lesson in manhood. Words tumbled out unbidden. About moving here to this godforsaken Midwest town after Mom's overdose. About the whispers in the halls calling me that weird queer kid from the city. Jordan listened, really listened, his knee brushing mine in the damp chill. By the time the stadium lights flickered off, he'd convinced me to grab greasy diner fries at Mickey's on Elm, promising it was the cure for everything. As we dashed through the rain to his beat-up Ford pickup, laughing like idiots, I felt seen for the first time. Unbelievable, right? The king of the court picking up strays like me. That night in the neon glow of Mickey's, with the jukebox crooning some old Springsteen tune about Thunder Roads, Jordan peeled back layers I didn't know he had. He wasn't just the guy who dunked on seniors like they were playground amateurs. He was the kid whose mom split when he was 10, leaving him to raise his little sister Ellie while dad chased overtime at the mill. "Basketball's my armor," he admitted over a milkshake we shared one straw for, "because why not? Keeps the wolves at bay." I nodded, stirring my fries in ketchup, my guard slipping with every story. He asked about Seattle, the endless gray skies, the hidden beaches where I'd sneak off to sketch waves crashing like my unspoken dreams. "You're an artist, huh? That's cool. Most guys here think Picasso's a type of beer." His laugh rumbled, easy and warm, chasing away the knot in my gut. By closing time, as he drove me to the rundown duplex I shared with Dad, the radio humming low, Jordan's hand landed on my shoulder. Casual but electric. "You're not alone anymore, Alex. Not on my watch." I believed him. God, how I believed him. The next week blurred into a fever dream of stolen moments. Jordan started waiting for me after art class, his truck idling like a faithful steed, blasting indie playlists he'd curated just for me. Stuff like the Nationals' aching ballads that mirrored the ache in my chest. We'd cruise the back roads of Willow Creek, windows down, wind whipping through as he taught me to drive stick shift on empty cornfields. "Feel that clutch? That's life, man. Slippery, but you gotta commit or you stall out." His lessons weren't just about gears. They were parables, wrapped in that easy Midwestern drawl that made my pulse stutter. At school, he'd nod at me in the halls, a subtle anchor amid the sea of sideways glances. The jocks ribbed him about adopting a stray, but Jordan shut them down with a glare sharper than his crossover dribble. "Mind your own court, assholes." For the first time, the cafeteria didn't feel like a gladiator arena. I even sketched him during lunch, quick pencil strokes capturing the curve of his jaw, the way his hair fell rogue over one eye. He found the drawing in my locker once, taped it to his dashboard without a word. Unspoken but understood. This was ours. Fall deepened, leaves turning the town into a postcard of rust and gold. And so did we. Study sessions in his basement turned into marathons of vulnerability. Him confessing the pressure of college scouts breathing down his neck, the fear that one bad game could shatter the scholarship dream holding his family afloat. I'd counter with tales of Mom's laugh, how she'd paint our tiny apartment walls with murals of ocean myths to drown out the sirens. One night, as frost etched the windows and Ellie snored upstairs, Jordan pulled me into a hug that lingered too long to be platonic. "You're the only one who gets it, Alex. The real shit, not the highlight reel." His breath ghosted my ear, and I froze, heart a wild drum. Then, tentative as a first free throw, he tilted my chin up and kissed me. Soft, searching, tasting of peppermint gum and possibility. The world tilted, colors sharpening like a lens clicking into focus. We broke apart gasping, foreheads pressed, and he whispered, "I've wanted that since the bench." Me too. Oh, me too. Winter hit Willow Creek like a grudge, blanketing everything in ice that cracked underfoot like fragile promises. Jordan and I carved out a secret rhythm. Dawn runs along the frozen river, where our breaths mingled in white plumes as we talked futures. Me dreaming of art school in Chicago, him eyeing UCLA's blue chip program. "We'll make it work," he'd say, lacing our gloved fingers behind his back during movie nights at the drive-in. Screens flickering with rom-coms that felt prophetic. Ellie became our pint-sized confidant, braiding friendship bracelets with rainbow threads she swore were magic for brave hearts. Even Dad noticed the shift. Fewer bottles emptied, his grunts softening to questions about my new buddy. For once, home felt less like a cage. But secrets in a small town are like embers in dry grass. One spark, and it's inferno. It started with Tyler Reese, Jordan's best friend since Pee Wee League, the enforcer with a jaw like granite and loyalty thinner than onion skin. We'd been careful, stolen glances in the locker room shadows, notes passed in trig class, but Tyler caught the tail end of a goodbye kiss behind the gym after practice. His face twisted like he'd swallowed glass. "What the fuck, Hale? You turning fag now?" Jordan shoved him against the cinder block, voice a whip crack. "Say that again, and we're done." But the damage rippled. Whispers slithered through the team like smoke. Locker room jabs about Jordan's little project. Graffiti on my stall reading, "Fairy Bench Boy." I laughed it off at first, but the weight settled, heavy as wet snow. Jordan fought back, benching Tyler for a scrimmage, pulling me closer in the open. A hand on my back during assemblies, shouting my name from the free throw line like a cheer. It was brave, reckless, the kind of stand that makes legends. But bravery has a cost. Coach Harlan called him in after hours, door slamming like Judgment Day. I waited outside, snow swirling, stomach churning. When he emerged, his eyes were hollowed coals. He says if I don't straighten up, the scouts hear about my distractions. Dad's counting on that ride, Alex. Ellie's braces, the mortgage. It's all on me. We drove in silence that night, the cab thick with unsaid fractures. At my door, he gripped the wheel white-knuckled. "I love you. You know that, right? This doesn't change shit." But it did. The kisses grew hurried, the touches fleeting, like we were rationing air. Spring thaw brought no melt to the chill between us. Jordan threw himself into drills, his form sharper but joyless, a machine grinding toward glory. I'd catch him watching me from across the quad, longing in his gaze like a held breath. Tyler, emboldened, cornered me one April afternoon by the vending machines. "Hale's slumming it with you to rebel. Thinks it's a phase. When he signs that letter of intent, you'll be yesterday's news. Queerbait." The words landed like hooks, yanking at scars I thought healed. I punched him, wild, glancing off his shoulder, but it was enough to draw blood from my knuckles and a crowd. Suspension followed. Dad's rage a storm that left me black-eyed and barricaded in my room. Jordan came that night, scaling the trellis like Romeo on steroids, slipping through my window with apologies scripted in sweat. Tyler's lying. He's poison. We collapsed onto my bed, him tracing the bruise blooming on my cheek. I told Coach everything. Said I'd quit if he pushed. Tears stung as I pulled him close, our bodies aligning like puzzle pieces long separated. Don't. You're meant for more. In the moonlight, we promised forever. Chicago visits, summer road trips, a life beyond Willow Creek's chokehold. Felt real, etched in the salt of our skin. But betrayal wears a familiar face. Graduation loomed, scouts swarming like vultures. Jordan's big night. The All-Star Showcase under stadium lights brighter than ambition. I sat in the nosebleeds, sketchpad forgotten, pride swelling as he soared. 30 points, a poster dunk that shook the rafters. Post-game, champagne fizzed in hotel suites, but he found me in the parking lot. Ty Askew, eyes wild. Alex, Then Tyler sauntered up, arms slung around a cheerleader, smirk lethal. Tell your boyfriend congrats. Oh wait, you're not. Jordan froze the word boyfriend, a grenade pin pulled. The crowd pressed in, cameras flashing for the hero. And he laughed. Hollow, disbelieving. Dude, what? Nah, Alex is just a friend. Helping with art shit. The cheerleader giggled. Tyler clapped his back. And the circle tightened, swallowing me whole. I stood there, rain starting again. Fitting, furious. As Jordan's gaze met mine over their shoulders. Pleading. Broken. Alex, wait. But I was already running. The slap of my sneakers on asphalt drowning the sobs. Betrayal isn't a blade. It's erosion, slow and total, until you're adrift in the rubble. I didn't stop until the river, collapsing on our bench. Irony's cruel joke. Where it all began. Hours blurred. Dawn creeping like guilt. When tires crunched gravel. Jordan's truck. He bolted out, dropping to his knees in the mud. I panicked. God, I'm so sorry. They're nothing. Tyler's been threatening to out me to Dad since. I couldn't lose everything. Not when we're so close. His hands shook as he reached for mine. But I recoiled. The fracture too deep. You already did. For a laugh? For them. He wept then, raw and ruined. The unbreakable boy shattered. I love you. More than the game, the scouts, everything. I'll fix it. Quit. Come out, whatever it takes. We talked till sunrise, words, weapons, and bandages. The scouts' offers dangled like nooses. Full ride. Family salvation. But Jordan chose. A press conference 2 days later, mic in hand, voice steady as his jumper. I'm gay. And proud. Shout it from the rooftops. The town erupted. Outrage from old guard. Cheers from hidden allies. Tyler got cut from the team, coach resigned in scandal. Dad, surprisingly, cracked a beer and muttered, "World's changing, kid. Don't fuck it up." Ellie drew us as superheroes, capes fluttering. Summer bloomed, and so did we, rebuilt, scarred but stronger. Jordan deferred UCLA for a gap year, coaching youth leagues while I prepped my portfolio. We drove west, chasing sunsets, the bench a memory etched in triumph. Unbelievable? Yeah. But real as the ring he slipped on my finger one starry Nevada night. Partners in crime, forever. In America, where dreams die hard and love fights dirtier, we learned redemption isn't flawless. It's messy, human, worth every drop of rain. The road to Reno stretched like a promise under tires that hummed a lullaby. Jordan's hand steady on my thigh as the dashboard clock ticked past midnight. We'd packed light, duffels stuffed with teas, my sketchbooks, his lucky sneakers, and heavier things. The echo of that parking lot laugh, the sting of Tyler's smirk, the weight of a town that had tried to bury us alive. "Penny for your thoughts?" Jordan murmured, thumb tracing circles that sent sparks up my spine. I glanced at him, profile sharp against the passing sodium lamps, and felt the old ache twist with new tenderness. Just wondering if we're crazy, dropping everything for a whim. A let's see what's over the horizon road trip. He chuckled, low and familiar, squeezing gently. Crazy's our brand, Alex. Remember the time we TP'd the principal's oak after he banned my mixtape from pep rally? This is that Times infinity. We'd left Willow Creek in a whirlwind of goodbyes. Ellie clinging like a koala, promising daily postcards. Dad's gruff handshake masking misty eyes. Even a nod from Coach's replacement, who whispered, "Hale's got heart. You too, Rivera." The press had milked the story dry. Small-town star comes out swinging. Headlines blaring from Des Moines to LA. Offers poured in. Endorsements, interviews, a podcast begging for our unbelievable tale. Jordan turned most down, but we did one for Glad. My voice cracking as I described the bench, him interrupting with, "He saved me first. Don't let the fairy tale fool you." It went viral, comments a battlefield of rainbows and rage, but we logged off, choosing asphalt over algorithms. Nevada welcomed us with desert heat that baked the hurt from our bones. We camped under stars sharp as secrets, Jordan strumming his old acoustic, songs he'd written in basements, lyrics now laced with my name. One night, fire crackling, he set the guitar aside and pulled a velvet box from his pack. Not proposing, not yet, but a vow. Inside, twin silver bands, engraved with coordinates. Our bench's latitude. "To anchors," he toasted with warm beer, sliding mine on. I mirrored him, the metal cool against fevered skin, and kissed him slow, the world fading to just us. Tongues dancing tentative, hands mapping familiar paths with reverent care. No rush, no desperation, just love, reclaimed. But peace is a jealous lover, and old ghosts don't fade easy. My phone buzzed mid-morning in a dusty diner off I-80, Dad's number. "Alex?" "Ellie." "Hospital." The line crackled, his voice frayed like old rope. "Pneumonia," they said. Sudden, fierce. Her tiny lungs no match for the creek's damp chill. Jordan floored it back east. The truck a blur through tears. My sketches scattering like confetti from hell. Willow Creek loomed gray again. Hospital fluorescence buzzing like accusations. Ellie lay small in her bed. IVs snaking like vines. But her eyes lit when we burst in. "My heroes," she rasped, gripping Jordan's pinky. Dad paced the hall, hollow-cheeked. The man who'd once swung belts now crumbling. "Shoulda seen it coming." She was coughing last week. We tag-teamed vigils. Jordan reading her Beatrix Potter. Me drawing fantastical beasts on napkins to guard her dreams. Tyler even slunk by once, flowers wilting in his fist, mumbling, "Didn't mean for this." Jordan shut the door in his face, but later, alone, he confessed the rot. Part of me still blames him for pushing me to that lot, for the stress that kept me up coaching instead of home. I held him as he broke, sobs muffled in my shirt, the betrayal's scar tissue tearing anew. "We're past it," I lied, "because love demands fiction sometimes." Ellie rallied, fever breaking like dawn, discharged with a prescription and promises of beach trips. But the scare lingered, a reminder. Family isn't blood alone. It's the ones who bench press your burdens. Back on the road, lighter but wiser, we veered south to Chicago. My art school audition looming like a hoop I had to sink. The city thrummed electric. Lake Michigan a blue tease mirroring my nerves. Jordan crashed on my cousin's couch, playing hype man as I paced, portfolio splayed like a deck of fates. "That one's killer, the one of the river at dusk, with my shadow bleeding into yours." His belief was oxygen. Without it, I'd suffocate. The panel grilled me. Technique, inspiration, the personal edge in my lines. "It's about seeing the unseen," I said, voice steady, Jordan's ring a talisman under my sleeve. Acceptance letter arrived weeks later, stamped with promise. Summer waned in stolen idols. Bonfires on Michigan dunes, where Jordan taught me to body surf waves that crashed like applause. Farmers markets in Wicker Park, haggling over heirloom tomatoes while he snuck kisses behind stalls. But cracks spiderwebbed, his deferred UCLA spot gnawing, scouts circling like sharks scenting blood. What if I blow it? Ellie's college, Dad's retirement. Late-night calls from home amplified the pull, his voice tightening with each, "I miss you, bro," from teammates. I pushed it down, sketching us as intertwined oaks, roots deep against storms. Yet doubt whispered. Was I his anchor, or the chain? The fracture hit in Austin, a layover en route to LA for his makeup showcase. Motel neon flickered through thin curtains as we argued. Me accusing distance of breeding drift. Him defending duty like a shield. This isn't betrayal, Alex. It's life. Words escalated, old wounds reopening. The laugh, the lie, now reframed as necessary sacrifices. I stormed out, wandering rain-slick streets till dawn, phone silent. He found me at a 24-hour taqueria, eyes red-rimmed, plate of untouched migas between us. I can't lose you to this, but I can't abandon them. We rebuilt brick by brick, therapy apps on long hauls, letters sealed with wax like old-world lovers. Humanistic, messy. Love as verb, not fairy dust. Fall confettied east. Jordan dropping me at SAIC's ivy-clad gates with a kiss that tasted of goodbyes deferred. Weekly flights. Or I'll hitchhike. Ellie sent care packages. Cookies shaped like basketballs. Notes in crayon. Don't forget the magic. Campus buzzed kaleidoscopic. Queer clubs welcoming with open arms. But nights echoed empty without his rumble. My first exhibit. Urban myths and charcoal, Jordan flying in, front row, whistling loud enough to shatter glass. That's my guy. Pride swelled, but so did the chasm, his junior year trials, my internship grind. Thanksgiving pulled us home, Willow Creek a bomb of familiarity. Dad grilled turkey with uncharacteristic flair, toasting to second chances. But Tyler's shadow loomed, reinstated at community college, rumors of a tell-all blog brewing spite. Jordan confronted him at the old court, me watching from the bleachers, heart in throat. No fists, just truths. You almost destroyed us, but we're still standing. Tyler deflated, mumbling regret, the poison purged. Closure, bittersweet as burnt pie. As snow dusted again, we dreamed bigger, joint loft in Brooklyn postgrad, his pro tryouts, my gallery shows. The bench, revisited one Christmas Eve, stood sentinel, carvings weathered but enduring. Jordan traced them, pulling me close. Unbelievable, huh? From puddle to this. Yeah. From alone to allied, betrayal to bond. America's heart beats in such rhythms. Flawed, fierce, forever chasing light. Chicago's winter bit like a grudge. Wind off the lake clawing through my peacoat as I hustled to the L for another soul-crushing shift at the campus cafe. Steam fogged the windows, mirroring the haze in my head. Jordan's last call from LA, the voice crackling with exhaustion after a grueling combine. Miss your sketches, babe. Send one. I promised, but the blank page mocked me, lines blurring with fatigue. Art school was a whirlwind of critiques and caffeine. Professors dissecting my work like surgeons. More vulnerability, Rivera. Dig deeper. If only they knew the depths I'd plumbed. Love's scalpel, sharpest tool. He visited in January, snowplow symphony outside my shoebox dorm as we bundled under thrift store quilts. Jordan brought West Coast sun in his smile. Tales of Venice Beach pickup games where scouts whispered, "Point God." We wandered the Art Institute. His hand warm in mine amid Monets that whispered of fleeting beauty. This one's us, he said, pointing to lovers in a sun-dappled garden, tangled eternal. That night, bodies entwined in the narrow bed, we mapped futures with whispers. His NBA dream, my graphic novel pitch to indie presses. No frenzy, just communion, skin a canvas of trust rebuilt. But distance is a thief, pilfering inches until miles gape. February's full moon brought a fight via FaceTime. Me buried in finals, him dodging paparazzi post a viral dunk reel. You're drifting? I accused, the screen fracturing his face into pixels. Tournaments every weekend. It's like I'm dating a ghost. He sighed, rubbing temples etched with new lines. This is the grind, Alex. For us. The word anchored, but resentment's tide rose. Tyler's blog dropped then, a venomous screed, hails hypocrisy. How a small-town hero sold out his soul for spotlight. Lies, twisted truths, the parking lot spun as calculated PR. Our bench meet cute as pity play. Comments swarmed like locusts. Slurs, sympathy, speculation. Jordan went dark for days. Radio silence a void that echoed my fears. When he resurfaced, it was a red-eye flight, crashing into my arms at O'Hare, duffel thudding like defeat. Don't read it. It's noise. But we did, huddled over takeout lo mein, dissecting barbs that reopened scars. He wants relevance, Jordan spat. Since life's kicked him to the curb, I held him through the rage, but doubt seeded. Was our story tabloid fodder now, or testament? We countered with a joint Instagram live, raw, unfiltered, me sketching his profile as he spoke. Love isn't a plot twist. It's the plot. Views spiked, allies amplified, but the toll mounted. Sleepless nights, my brushstrokes jagged. Spring semester thawed the city, cherry blossoms rioting pink along the Mag Mile, but our rhythms stuttered. Jordan's draft buzz crescendoed, mock lotteries slotting him mid-first round, while I inked a fellowship for queer artists, panels on identity that left me drained. Visits shortened to weekends, his eyes shadowed by travel, my heart by absence. Ellie's letters bridged gaps, crayon exhortations. Draw a bridge for you and Geordie. I did, mailing it framed, but bridges buckle under weight. The breaking point crested in May, my exhibit opening at a Loop gallery, Urban Legends in Mixed Media. Jordan promised center stage. He missed it. Flight delayed, then canceled. Scout dinner in Orlando. Irresolvable. I stood amid mingling critics, champagne flute trembling. His empty chair a spotlight of shame. Texts piled. Stuck. Kill it for us. I did. Sales trickling. Praise murmured. But victory soured. Drunk on free wine, I Ubered home, deleting voicemails mid-sob. Betrayals echo softer this time, no laugh, just neglect. He arrived at dawn, pounding the buzzer like judgment. Door flew open, me in rumpled sweats, eyes puffy. Alex? I shoved the program at him cover. Our coordinates etched in ash.
You chose again.
The dream over me. Words volleyed, him defending ambition as love's fuel, me indicting it as excuse. We're partners, not pit stops. A vase shattered, shards like fractured vows, and he left, cab taillights fading into fog. Days blurred to weeks, no contact, my world a monochrome sketch. Ellie broke the stalemate, phoning from Dad's. Geordie's sadboxing in the basement. Fix it. Sadboxing, his term for shadow sparring ghosts. I drove through deluge, heart hammering, finding him in the old gym, gloves thudding rhythmically. He dropped them at my shadow, sweat slick and spent. I fucked up. No denial, just surrender. We talked on the bench, full circle, rain pattering like reluctant applause. Ambition blinded me. You're the court, Alex, the home team. Tears mixed with downpour. Forgiveness a bridge rebuilt plank by plank. No more choices without us. Reconciliation flowered in summer's heat, joint therapy via Zoom, unpacking baggage like pros. He trained stateside, me interning at a queer mag, our loft hunt in Bushwick yielding a walk-up with lake views. Draft night arrived, June's humidity thick as nerves. Us in a sports bar thronged with hopefuls. Commissioner's voice boomed. With the 18th pick, Jordan Hale, Seattle Supersonics. Roars erupted, his arms crushing me amid cheers. We did it. Seattle. Full circle to my roots, waves calling us home. But triumph's shadow loomed. Relocation, media frenzy. The NBA's unspoken bro code. Teammates ribbed gently at minicamp, vets offering nods. Own your truth, kid. Yet hazing edged sharp. A locker prank with slurs scrawled in tape. Management's note, anonymous. Jordan brushed it off, but I saw the flinch, echoes of Tyler. We navigated with grit. Pride floats in Capitol Hill. His jersey rainbow-dyed for a charity game. Ellie visited, dubbing the Space Needle our beanstalk. Dad tagging along, awkward but earnest. Fall League tipped off, Jordan's rookie shine dazzling. Triple doubles. Interviews where he'd credit, my anchor back home. I flew coasts, sketching sidelines. Our love a public quiet amid spotlight. Yet conflict simmered, a tabloid blind item, rookie's secret split, fueled by a misinterpreted club photo. Paranoia crept, arguments flaring over trust's frayed edges. "You're pulling away again," I accused during a layover call. "The league's a machine, swallows souls," he countered. "I'm fighting for us in it." Climax brewed in December, all-star buzz electric, but a home game against the Bulls turned brutal. Jordan twisting an ankle on a drive, crashing down amid gasps. I watched from courtside, heart seizing as trainers swarmed. MRI confirmed. Stress fracture. Season sidelined. Hospital sterile, his face ashen under fluorescence. Ruined it all. No reborn. We retreated to Seattle's fog. Him rehabbing with ocean views. Me freelancing murals of resilience. Betrayal's ghost. Banished in vulnerability's forge. Nights of board games, bad puns, bodies healing together. Human threads wove tighter. His podcast launch. Benchside chats. Interviewing queer athletes. My graphic novel deal. Unbelievable coordinates. Our story inked immortal. Willow Creek called for homecoming. Jordan keynote. Me unveiling a bench mural town transformed. Rainbow crosswalks, ally flags fluttering. Tyler approached, sober now, amends in shaky script. Proud of you both. Forgiveness, not absolution, humanity's grace. As cherry blossoms returned, we stood on that original bench, rings glinting. From alone to legion, Jordan murmured. Unbelievable, enduring, love's American odyssey. Dramatic in its detours, romantic in return. Seattle's perpetual drizzle felt like mercy now. A soft veil over the ache of Jordan's sideline days. Our Capitol Hill apartment, a nest of takeout containers and physical therapy printouts. He'd pace the hardwood like a caged lion, ankle braced, firing frustrated jumpers at a Nerf hoop I'd rigged over the fridge. Doc says 6 weeks, but it feels eternal. I'd catch the rebounds, tossing back quips. Builds character. Like that time you airballed the regionals, 'cause you ate mom's chili. Laughter cracked the tension, but nights brought the gnaw. Bills stacking, endorsements drying up with his court absence. What if this ends it? The dream us. I'd pull him to the balcony. City lights winking like conspirators. Murmuring. Dreams pivot. We're the constant. Rehab became ritual. Dawn physio sessions at the Y. Me sketching his progress in a journal. Lines from grimace to grin. The Supersonics front office was gold, GM texting dad jokes. Teammates rotating drop-ins with care packages of kale smoothies and bad playlists. Vet point guard Marcus. Grizzled and gay himself since the 90s closet. Mentored over Zoom. League's evolving, kid. But guard your peace. Media's a viper. Jordan absorbed, emerging fiercer. Channeling downtime into advocacy. He guested on my mag's panel. Voice steady. Injury's a timeout, not game over. Use it to rewrite the rules. Applause thundered. My pride a swell matching the sound. Yet betrayal's specter shape-shifted. A former scout, bitter over Jordan's coming out distraction. Leaked emails to a rag. Hale's soft. Too busy with boyfriend drama for D1 grit. The piece trended toxic. Trolls dredging our bench origin as sob story scam. Jordan's phone blew up. Agents hedging. Fans fracturing. I found him at 3 a.m. Scrolling in the dark. Jaw clenched. They reduce us to punchlines. Rage boiled, but we alchemized. A co-authored op-ed for The Stranger. Raw on resilience. Going syndicating to ESPN. Backlash boomeranged. Support surged. Bench believers trending. Even Tyler retweeting solidarity from rehab. Summer healed in layers. Jordan's ankle mended. Clearance papers a ticket stub to return. We escaped to the San Juans. Ferry slicing Salish Sea. Kayaks slicing swells. Paddling tandem, him front. Me steering, we synced strokes like heartbeats. Remember our first run? You tripped into the river. His splashy memory sparked a chase. Waves lapping. Laughter echoing off Orcus' distant blows. Evenings on driftwood thrones. Bonfire embers painting his face in gold. We'd unpack the hall. Fears of obsolescence. Joys of quiet. One dusk, as seals barked approval, he knelt. Not ring, but journal. Our story, chapter next. Co-write. Pages filled with joint entries. Bucket lists. boundaries, us against the arena. Fall training camp reconvened in Chiarina's roar, Jordan lacing up with a rookie's fire tempered by trial. I flew down for opener, courtside amid Emerald faithful, heart sinking to the bounce. He exploded 30-footer at the horn, crowd seismic. Post-game huddle, sweat-slick hug. For you, media scrum swarmed, but he pivoted. Shout out to my partner, Alex, the real MVP. Clips viralized, normalizing in neon. But conflict crested oceanic. A road swing to Miami. All-star reserves announced en route. Jordan snubbed. Snub dissected on panels as diversity penalty. Teammates rallied, but doubt eroded. Locker whispers of distraction. A coach's sidelong focus up. I joined mid-trip. Beach is a bomb, but tension simmered. Dinner at a conch shack. Conch fritters cooling as he unloaded. They see us as liability. What if I drag you down? Reversal's knife. Me the anchor, him adrift. We're ballast, not burden. Yet seeds of fracture. My novel deadline loomed, his schedule a vortex. Arguments brewed over ceviche. Me accusing withdrawal, him exhaustion's lash. Climax detonated in Boston, a garden grudge match. Jordan torched early, but a screenplay tangled. Opponent's elbow to ribs, whistle late, him crumpling. Bruised but playing. Post-game presser twisted. Reporter probing. How's the personal life factoring into these hits? Mic drop implication. Me as curse. Jordan snapped. Next question. Storming out. Hotel suite became Coliseum. Me defending space. Him lashing at fair-weather support. You bail when it burns. Words ricocheted. A lamp toppled. Silence crashing like waves. Door slammed. I wandered back bay till dawn. Harbor fog mirroring mind. Reunion dawned in mediation. Marcus flying in, neutral ground at a dive bar. Love's a full-court press. Teamwork or turnover. Confessions flowed. Jordan's fear of fading. My guilt over thriving solo. Vows renewed. Weekly check-ins, no silence clauses. Human we've mended, threads tougher. Winter Wonderland Seattle. Jordan's all-star redemption arc scripted in sweat. Fan votes surging. Reserves recanted. I wrapped the novel. Dedication. To Jay. Coordinates eternal. Release party at Elliott Bay Books. Him toasting amid stacks. From bench to bookshelf. Unbelievable us. Ellie flew in. Devouring signed copies. Dad cornered a critic. Boasting like a peacock. Betrayal's final echo. Tyler's redemption arc. A letter arriving spring. Sober 2 years. Coaching at-risk kids. Crediting our stand. You showed grace I didn't deserve. Jordan read aloud. Voice thick. Full circle. We invited him to a game, halftime hug, past exorcised. As lilacs bloomed, we plotted permanence. A commitment ceremony on the bench, town's blessing. Jordan's ring upgrade. Coordinates inlaid with sapphire waves. Forever's our play. Dramatic detours, romantic rebounds. America's ballad. Sung in sweat and starlight. The bench ceremony unfolded under July's benevolent blue. Willow Creek's park a tapestry of wildflowers and well-wishers. Rainbow banners fluttering like liberated flags. Picnic tables groaning under potluck bounty. Ellie officiated in a flower crown. Pint-sized preacher with vows cribbed from rom-coms. Do you, Jordan Hale, promise to pass the ball heart, to Alex forever? Giggles rippled, but his I do rang solemn. Eyes locked on mine like free throws. My turn cracked voice. And you, Alex Rivera, to sketch the shadows and the shine? Always. Rings exchanged. Simple bands now etched with unbelievable. Sealed with a kiss that tasted of barbecue and belonging. Cheers erupted. Dad clinking bottles. To the kids who taught this old dog new tricks, Tyler lingered at the edge, nodding respect. Even Coach Harlan sent a card, grudging well played. Honeymoon was a circuit. Seattle lofts to Chicago exhibits. Each stop a chapter in our evolving epic. Jordan's sophomore surge, double-doubles, dunk contests won. Afforded whims. A mural commission in Brooklyn. My lines gracing a queer youth center. him cutting the ribbon with scissored flair. Art that hits harder than my crossover. Media matured too, profiles and out, his coming out anniversary op-ed in SI. The bench that changed the game. Backlash lingered, but buffers built. A foundation for LGBTQ plus athletes. Hell Rivera hoops. Funding scholarships from our bench's blueprint. Yet life's script twists unbidden. Fall's foliage turned prophetic when Ellie's college apps yielded Harvard. Full ride. But East Coast exile loomed. Jordan's joy warred with ache. Our little shadows flying. Family dinner devolved to tears. Him masking as grill master. Me sketching her dorm dreams. We'll visit. Thanksgiving turbos. But distances specter haunted, mirroring our early miles. Add dad's diagnosis. Prostate early but insistent, and the pull sharpened. Jordan deferred a Euro stint. Me pausing a residency. Converging in Willow Creek for chemo charrettes. Hospital vigils echoed old ones, but roles reversed. Him strong-arming dad through infusions. Me mediating gruff gratitude. Never thought I'd owe a queer kid my hide. Dad rasped once, squeezing my hand. Healing's humanism bridges bidirectional. Conflict-crested domestic. A leaked voice memo from camp. Jordan venting to Marcus about the weight of being poster boys. Feels performative sometimes. Tabloids spun regrets in the locker room. Fractures fracturing anew. I confronted over FaceTime. Pixels warping pain. Am I burden or blessing? His denial crumbled to confession. The spotlight warps. Makes love feel like Exhibit A. Raw, we therapied tandem, unpacking performative versus pure. We're not symbols, I insisted. We're us. Resolution. A sabbatical month, unplugging to the Cascades. Cabins, creeks, no cells. Days blurred in bliss. Hiking Talus Fields, him hoisting me over streams. Nights in flannel, stories swapped like kindling. One eve, under Perseides streaking, he proposed proper. Marry me, Alex. Not for headlines, for the quiet. Yes, whispered into starfall. Wedding proper. Spring equinox, Seattle courthouse understated. Witnesses Marcus and Ellie beaming. Vows vowed anew. Through slumps and splashes. Honeymooned Hawaii, volcanic trails. Lava flows mirroring melded souls. Back stateside, balance beckoned. Jordan's veteran contract. My tenure track offer at Cornish. Life layered. Foster pup named Bench. Morning runs etching endorphins. Evenings curating our archive. Sketches, jerseys, letters. Climax's coda came unannounced. A pro scout's whisper to Jordan. Olympics contention. Paris 2024 trials. Dreams resurrection but timing tangled. My solo show in Berlin overlapping. Debate dance dinners. Him torn between team and tandem. Me between acclaim and accompaniment. Go, I urged. Seize the gold. But doubt danced too, echoes of absences past. Trials loomed, selection camp a crucible. I flew standby, courtside shadow. He shone, clutch threes, leadership lauded, earning the roster. Elation electric, but farewell fractured. Airport embrace, tears salting security. 2 months, then worlds. Paris pulsed romantic. Sane sunsets. Crepes creased with confessions via video. But homefront quaked. Dad's remission wobbled. A scan spotting shadows. Jordan jetted mid-village. Gold deferred for family. Games graced without him. But legacy lingered. His bench ethos inspiring underdogs. Return rally. Airport mob. Me in his arms amid flashbulbs. Worth every missed layup. Years unfurled like score sheets. 30s traded jerseys for coaching. Jordan at UW helm, me department chair. Our home a haven of half-finished canvases and highlight reels. Ellie graduated crimson-clad. Maid of honor at our vow renewal. Dad danced, cane twirling, to our first song Springsteen. Tyler's Youth League merged with our foundation. Redemption's relay. Betrayal? Transmuted to teacher. Tyler's early spite a syllabus for standing firm. Conflict cycled, but cycle spun stronger. Therapy touchstones, annual bench pilgrimages. Ket Tuk Nan Van. No tidy bow, but tapestry textured. Love's labor. Dramatic in depths. romantic in rises, humanistic in holds. One autumn eve, porch swing creaking, Jordan's head on my shoulder. Still unbelievable? I kissed his temple, sunset gilding grays. Every damn day, from that rain-lashed bench to this, America's anthem, sung in sap, sweat, and unyielding shine.